So tonight at 7 p.m, MPs will vote on the new police, courts and sentencing bill. And this bill is, for lack of a better description, neo-fascist. It's as simple as that. They want to practically make it illegal to have any kind of protest that isn't violent, because at the moment they can curb violent protest. They've got legislation to do that, and that's deemed to be pretty reasonable. They can curb any protest which isn't violent, non-violent protest, but is disruptive. That's the whole fucking point of a protest. The whole point of having a protest is to say, I have something to say. I'm going to be loud about it. I'm going to be disruptive until my voice is heard, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to have protest after protest until somebody listens to me. That is the point. Otherwise, how else do you have a protest? You just stand there silently with a placard. In fact, this bill has restrictions against that. They want to give police more powers to handle one-man protests, or one-person protests to be politically correct, and to handle silent protests. Priti Patel is a fascist. She's an absolute lunatic. She went live on LBC talking to Nick Ferrari, and she had a Freudian slip where she said, I don't support protest. Anybody who voted Tory in 2019, this is on you. So it is up to you now, in the next few hours, lobby the shit out of your local MP. Get them to oppose this bill. This is so bad, Keir Starmer is opposing it. Mr. Fence Sitter is actually getting up out of bed and opposing. That's how bad it is. It's neo-fascistic, it's dystopian, it's draconian. They want to stop you going near Parliament to protest. This is a direct infringement on our democratic rights. It's an insult to democracy. Any state that calls itself a democracy and then turns around and restricts your right to protest no longer has the right to call itself a democracy. Now, my MP is actually changing. David Evanet, my former MP, he actually stopped answering my emails and my letters because I think he just got sick of me hearing about me and hearing about me telling him how terrible the way he was voting was. When he voted for kids to be blown up in Yemen, I wrote him a letter and I told him that he was disgusting. When he voted against, or in favour of, taking away free school meals from kids under year 3, I wrote a letter and I told him how despicable it was. And eventually he just stopped replying to me. I've now moved. This is why I'm covered in paint. I'm painting my new place. And I got a new MP. And it's Gareth Johnson of Dartford. And honestly, I've written him an email. I've tweeted him. And he doesn't seem to be very active on Twitter. But I've written him an email and I've tweeted him saying, I hope you're going to oppose this bill. Tory or not. Labour or not, left wing, right wing, centre, doesn't matter. This bill is fascistic. It's truly dystopian. It's an insult to democracy. We need to stand up and say no, enough. Enough is enough. I get that it's a pandemic and a coronavirus, and you have to have some restrictions. But this is not about coronavirus. It's not about lockdown. This is the government wanting to implement new rules. Nowhere in the 300-page bill does it say that in the event of a pandemic. This is granting the government new powers to get the police to curb your right to protest. You must have every right to go to Parliament, where the seat of power is, and protest and have your voice heard. And I don't care what you want to protest. I don't care if you want to protest nurses' wages, if you want to protest against police brutality, if you want to protest against immigration, if you want to protest against foreign policy, if you want to protest against the war, if you want to protest against the budget. You must have every single right to do so, whether you're left wing, right wing, somewhere in the centre. You must have a right to do so. That is the point of democracy, is so you can be heard, and the government is trying to curb that. It needs to end. This bill, if this passes, we will be in a fascist state.